Okay, so this is pretty interesting. I can't think of another time I recommended somebody watch a movie. It's not really a movie. It's actually a documentary. Involves like 20 or so people that were involved in the incident. It's actually a new release on Netflix called Command and Control. It's about an incident that happened in Arkansas with the most powerful nuclear weapon we ever created. It was like a souped-up version of a super hydrogen bomb, which would have destroyed over 5,000. That's just the super deadly fallout. Would have destroyed over 5,000 square miles. So, you know how the most really odd stuff that's so bizarre it can't be true ends up being true? So, there's a Titan II missile in a tube in a nuclear launch site in Little Rock, Arkansas, on the base, and two nut jobs, just young punks, went in there to release a safety valve. This whole documentary actually interviews these people. They're all old now, and they interview some of the chief nuclear weapons designers. And according to the best minds that actually designed these weapons, that we came within like an absolute hair, literally a human hair, of destroying half of America, because one idiot went in there. He was supposed to grab a ratchet to release a large nut. Instead, he grabbed like a huge socket. He says the socket is about yay big, and the socket head, which actually unreleases this pressure valve on the Titan II rocket, he said it was 8 pounds. So apparently, it's a socket head that big, and he wasn't supposed to take it in there. And it slipped out of his hands, and it fell down, and it bounced, and it hit the oxidizer tank, releasing the oxidizer. Which you would think, well, if it catches fire, then the missile's going to explode. All the people, they were interviewing all these old people in the documentary that were the chief weapons designers, including the people that actually designed the Titan II missile. And they absolutely said that, A, the missile will collapse on itself due to the release of that pressure, and secondly, oh, absolutely, you have an extremely high likelihood, once it catches fire, that the nuclear warhead will detonate. I didn't know this, but it makes sense. Obviously, there's the oxidizer in the fuel. When it punctured the oxidizer tank instead of the fuel tank, that once enough pressure is released out of that, because the entire rocket's so damn heavy, it's kind of like cutting the legs out from underneath somebody. So even if nothing ignited the oxidizer, the rocket would have collapsed in on itself and set off an explosion, which it eventually did. This isn't funny. It's like you can't even make stuff up like that. Everybody should actually see this to see the incompetence. It's like you have the greatest minds from Harvard and whatnot, and these chief weapons designers that, their brains are like a slide ruler, and they design these missiles in these super reinforced concrete bunkers, and yet they have like 18-year-old, hormone-raging, stupid punks. And the guy that actually did this, and he's in the video in several places when and he looks like the dumbest creature, the dumbest human-looking idiot on planet Earth. Just a total. It's like you wouldn't trust this guy dating your daughter under supervision. Yet this guy nearly destroyed much of America due to his incompetence. And he said that he should have gotten the ratchet, which would have loosened the pressure bolt on the Titan II missile. But instead he grabbed the socket wrench with the huge socket bolt, which loosened that big nut on the nuclear missile. Anyway, I don't want to give away the whole thing, but I forget the exact date that this happened, but the missile did blow up, and of course the military never says jack crap to anybody. But people were monitoring the Air Force frequencies the next day, and they were very clandestine about what they were talking about. But anyway, it's all been declassified now. The people that are actually out there in the scenes like, yeah, we couldn't find it. In other words, actually, after the missile detonated, they opened up the top cover to try to vent the gas, the oxidizer, but the oxidizer was so heavy. Anyway, the thing collapsed, it blew up, And it took him a day and a half to find the nuclear warhead. Because after it collapsed, it exploded and it shot the warhead payload. If it fell down into the thing, these chief weapons designers feel like, yeah, there's an extremely high likelihood that, if it collapses before the explosion, that, it's going to go off. Not the missile, which did blow up, but the nuclear, actually the hydrogen bomb warhead, an extremely powerful one. It did. So they spent a day and a half finding the nucleus. Like, there it is in the ditch. This is in the video. It's like they had all these people, all these people looking for the nuclear warheads. Like, oh, there it is. It's in the ditch over there, halfway buried. They couldn't find it, which of course is a broken arrow. That's what it's technically called, classification, where a nuclear weapon is lost. So, in order to say the chain is only as strong as the weakest link, so you have this extremely precise nuclear warhead and millions and millions of dollars of steel reinforced concrete and, Air Force guys with dual keys to ignite the. But the person that destroys it, like a 19-year-old idiot that is authorized to go in there and release a pressure valve, and he drops the bolt, and the Titan II missile is incredibly long, so it falls this long distance, bounces off a platform, and then strikes the oxidizer tank, because those nuclear missiles had very thin skin, and it punctured the skin and then the oxidizer tank, and then all the oxidizers spraying. Everybody's just like, we are so screwed. So I recommend anybody to see this and all the incompetence that goes on in it. And when people are find out about the explosion later, like, yeah, we're in no danger. We're in no danger. But they're interviewing the old guys that actually designed those specific warheads, and the people, it's like, ooh, yeah, it is just like an act of God that nuclear warhead did it. Yeah, I was totally certain. This is the guy that designed the damn thing. It's like, I was. Anyway, we're doomed. Everybody was going to die within a 100-mile radius instantly in a gigantic ball of light, and it's bad. So everybody else at the time, like, oh no, you're in no danger. It's all okay. Everything's under control. It's like, no, nothing's under control. This isn't a movie, it's a documentary, so anybody that's interested in stuff like that should actually watch this. And like I said, it's called Command and Control is the name of the documentary. And it's actually interviewing all the people who are out there, including the idiot. He's just like this brain-dead idiot that actually dropped that bolt and nearly destroyed half of America, or more than half of America. He's like, you're looking at the dumbest person alive, and he nearly destroyed half of America. dropping a socket wrench head. It's not funny at all. It's just so typical of human stupidity. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the documentary. It's something that I suggest watching. Bye.